I was taking the dogs out for a walk and I wasn't planning on going anywhere apart from the dog walk. Excuse my hair, by the way, it's 85% humidity at the moment. It's so humid you can actually see it in the air. Anyhow, I was taking the dogs for a walk. I decided to walk down to the beach and back again because the humidity was so thick that there was no sun at that point. And I came down and said hello to Elizabeth, and she's dragged me onto the ferry to Amalfi quickly. So she's got a couple of errands to do there. So we're unexpectedly going to Amalfi and straight back again. But I think we might be able to weave 10 minutes out of it where we can have a chat about Capri. Right, I was not planning on filming a video right now. We were going to have this chat in Positano somewhere, and I came out on a dog walk and we happened to be in Amalfi, so we've got time to sit down and chat. So we're going to do it here, which is fine. But I'm not taking my hat off because my hair is a mess.
Okay. No, you better keep it.
Yeah.
A friendly reminder.
Yeah. So let's talk about Capri, because we've just had our little holiday in Capri, even though you only had 12 minutes. 12 minutes? 12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours. It felt like 12 minutes.
Yeah, no, but I was super happy that we did it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, like I told you also, or 1 hour or 10 hours, whenever I'm with you, it's just nice.
Yeah. The plan was that this video we were going to film sitting in the jacuzzi on our terrace.
But it was too windy.
And it was too windy, and we just didn't have time in the end. So.
And then we preferred to use the infinity pool.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a jacuzzi part of that.
Yeah.
There was you press a button and it all bubbled up. You didn't see that. Anyhow, we thought we'd reminisce about Capri and all the times we've been, because we've been so many times over the last God knows how many years, since Lenny and Rosie were really small.
Yes.
We've been so many times, but we've been many times for work, many times for errands, and also we've done pretty much all of the touristy things possible.
And even less touristy things.
Yeah. Which we realised when we sat down at the hotel, and Emanuele, the guy who welcomed us, was giving us an idea of what to do. We'd done everything that he recommended.
Even the weirdest thing of the weirdest
Yeah.
walks or things he
The most
wanted
obscure
to.
things.
And now I found something for you. No, we already did. And now this one maybe, and no, we already did. Which was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice. It means that we appreciate also the area around us, because this is what I found out when I married Pepe, that he many times he has not been to places.
Yeah.
Because I think we just stay for our lives always a little bit tourist. We are curious to know where we are.
Yeah, I knew a hotel receptionist from the Poseidon, and when he retired, and this is probably about 15 years ago, he retired at 65 years old, and he'd never been to Capri in his life. He was from Positano. He'd worked all his life in the Poseidon Hotel. He'd never been to Capri, and I remember we gave him a trip to Capri as a retirement gift, and I was on the boat with him, and to see the look on his face, he was so happy to finally go there after a whole lifetime of telling tourists about it.
Yes, because you do all the recommendations.
Yeah.
So if I recommend things, I prefer that I know them, also that I know how many steps or how is the restaurant, or just to know the area.
Yeah. But I think it's quite a normal thing that you end up living in a place and being too busy with your life to do the touristy things in that place. Do you know what I mean? I think that can happen.
For sure. No, for sure. That's for sure like this, because when I go back to Vienna, I do many things my brother has never done before with the kids, because I'm just checking on new things and what is possible.
Yeah.
You're in the routine.
Ooh.
Hello, wow.
Grazie.
Decaffeinato, cappuccino.
Sì, perfetto, grazie.
Grazie. Sempre nel cuore nostro.
We are sitting at the Ristorante La Piazzetta, which is where Carlo and I have often been. You will have seen us here before, and this is where we always come to eat in Capri.
In
In Amalfi. I don't even know where I am at the moment. I was in Capri 2 days ago. Then yesterday I was in Positano. Now I'm in Amalfi. So yeah. But it's a lovely little closed-off square just behind the cathedral, actually. and it's just a really great place to come and have a meal, and it's a bit calmer here, a little bit quieter than the bustling piazza
Sorry.
over there. That's all right.
I'm already eating. Franco is from Positano.
Yes,
So this is why we have the connection.
yes.
And he also belongs to Mariana's family, so her husband's family. So we have a lovely connection, and whenever I come here, I just enjoy being with him and with this restaurant because it's like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So this place is still the same. The
Yeah.
umbrella is the same. The place is he's the same. It's just always the same. It is lovely. I like things when they don't change too much if
Yeah.
they are great, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, there's shade here. So when you walk around in Amalfi from the square and you come here, and then there's a fruit shop I love. There's still the same guy without hair, where I always bought the fresh fruits when I came here before I started working like full time. And yeah, it's lovely here. Beautiful. You're
Sorry,
making
I'm
photos of the lemon.
So I started on Instagram the other day doing it's a game that I've always played with Sky. Is how many photos of people wearing lemons can you get in 10 minutes?
And there were so many.
I posted the Positano edition the other day, and then I did a Capri edition yesterday, and now I'm in Amalfi. I've got to do the
edition.
Amalfi edition, and I just saw one go past. So excuse me if I borrow Elizabeth's phone and take photos every now and again. Anyway, we're not talking about Capri.
No.
Let's talk about the best time. Which was your favourite time? It doesn't have to be with me, but what was your favourite time on Capri?
My favorite time was with you because I love La Tosca. Whenever we went to this tiny little
Hotel.
tiny little hotel, I think the first time we had separate rooms, but there was one.
No, we never had separate rooms.
No?
That was Nicole.
Ah, okay, yeah, that's right. No, I love it because we are together and we are like family. So whenever we are together, I prefer to stay with you. And Tosca is such a lovely, super central place.
Yeah.
And then we do walks. We are very easy. We have the same, what we want to do. We just want to explore and walk around.
Apart from the really touristy things that I don't want to do.
yeah. No, but in general.
We were talking about this the other day. Was I talking about it with you, or maybe with Carlo? So when we went to Barcelona last year, I'm really against doing the really, really touristy things. I've always preferred to go off on my own and just walk around and explore. Whereas Elizabeth, obviously with the girls, it's easy and it's fun to do. So when we were in Barcelona, she booked one of those red city bus tours, and I was mortified by it. I was so embarrassed. It's just something that I would never ever have done, but she forced me to do it, and it was actually a really good way to see the city. We got the first bus of the morning, so it was half empty. We got the front seats on the top row, and we got to see the whole city, which we wouldn't have seen otherwise. So in the end,
especially because Lenny and Rosie, they would never
of
walk
course,
that
yeah.
amount we do.
So I was absolutely mortified, but I actually quite enjoyed it in the end. But I probably wouldn't do it again unless she forced me to.
And then you know what we did? I bought you without telling you the ticket, skipped the line for the house from
Gaudi.
and that was lovely too.
Yeah, that was
with
good,
the we had the VIP.
With
the
what are they called?
with the
iPads.
yes, thank you.
How old are we?
With the iPads, because I always try to find interactive things for my girls. But you're the same. You like to be stimulated
Yeah.
like my girls.
Yeah. Anyway, best time on Capri. So you were staying with the time that we stayed at La Tosca.
When we went down to Bar Bagni Internazionale and there was the party from
That's what I was
Holly.
going to say.
Yeah.
That was in 2020. So the island was empty. In fact, any of the visits that we had in 2020 were my favourite because it just felt like we had the island to ourselves. It was just so quiet. You could go anywhere, you could do anything, and we really made the most of it that year. We went quite a few times, but that time when our friend Holly, they have cooking classes on Capri. I'll leave the link below. I'm going to eventually go off and do one of them. But they have really good cooking classes and they grow all their own vegetables and it's all very sort of organic and homegrown and stuff. And it was like one of the kids' birthdays, and at that time they had the Ristorante Michelangelo, and they'd have the restaurant prepare all of this picnic food, so much food,
Was
and we
lovely.
had the whole beach at the Marina Piccola to ourselves, and with all the kids. And
I think it was Valentino's birthday. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And my kids really enjoyed to meet them because they have not a lot of age difference.
Yeah.
More or less the same, Lenny and Valentino, and then Rosie and the little one. And I like that we are not close friends in the sense that we meet each other or speak to each other every month or every week. When we eventually, I come to Capri and she has time, or she comes to Positano, she gives me a call, and then we have a chat, and it's lovely. The kids are always friends because
Yeah.
they have the Italian language logically in common,
Yeah.
and then off they go.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was definitely my favourite time, or my favourite year. And the worst time, we
The
know.
worst time was when we went with Jackie, Mariana,
Bruno,
and
all the kids.
Yeah, and we went to Anna Capri, and Rosie got attacked and beaten by
So
a French bulldog.
This must have been in 2023, because it was the year 22 or 23, because it was after the whole COVID thing had finished, and it was one of those years where it was so busy. There
Yeah.
was so all the tourists that hadn't been able to come for 2 years were there that day, and we basically, one, it was very overcast and grey that day.
Yeah,
Two, it was so crowded. We spent the whole day queuing.
yes.
Everything we did, we had to queue for ice creams, we had to queue for the funicular, we had to queue to get into the
Taxis.
gardens, the taxis, everything was a queue. And while we were in one of these queues, this bulldog, French bulldog, came out of nowhere and just went for Rosie. And it was terrifying. And you picked her up, and you're tall, and you picked her up and held her up, and the bulldog was climbing up your leg, and everybody was
And
screaming.
I got bitten through the jeans.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had long
yeah,
jeans,
yeah.
and I got bitten. So Bruno from Mariana just ran off and hid behind the bush, and he was so nervous. It was very,
That was a terrible day.
yeah. And
And
then
I've been trying to film, but I'm sure I posted something, but I hid it in the middle of a video because it was just a little bit, because it was just such a failure of a day that I just thought I can't post
I remember
this. It's too
my
depressing.
post. I remember my post. It's the post up on Monte Solaro with us and Jackie and Mariana.
Oh, and we got stuck up there and it took
Yeah.
ages to get down
Yes,
again.
and I posted like, what an awful day it was. Yeah, so from this moment, Rosie had a very different
relationship
with dogs. And in this, you remember, Holly and Indy helped a lot, because doesn't mean, we in this period we had 2 dogs at home, but she just got like really frightened and scared.
Yeah, she was very, very hesitant with Indy at the beginning, but as Indy grew, she's sort of gained Indy's trust now, and she's okay with her now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in general, whenever she sees a French bulldog, she just wants to
I'm sure.
climb up.
Yeah. I mean, I would too if I was
Oh,
her.
yeah.
It was horrible.
That's quite
So,
difficult.
and then
yeah.
we found the owner, didn't we?
we had the worst food
Oh yes, we did.
in
didn't
Anna
we?
Capri, in this bar. The worst
No,
pizza
no. Wait, that was down in Capri. First of all, we walked through and
No,
maybe
it was in
wasn't
the
Anna
place
Capri.
where I wanted to go, and they didn't let us sit.
They wouldn't let us sit down, and the waitress started screaming at us in the middle of the street in front of everybody, because she said we'd have to separate and sit on 3 different tables
Yes.
or something. We were like, just put 2 together. We can just sit around. No,
No.
we're not moving on. And she started screaming at us.
So we left and we went to the other bar.
Yes, it was.
And
up
there we
wasn't
had
it?
the worst
The
pizza
worst
tonno. I
meal
remember
ever.
Theodora, Mariana's daughter. She was like, I'm not going to eat this.
Yeah, that was a bad day. Okay. It's not always like that in Capri.
No, I remember we went to Villa Jovis, which I really
That was
loved.
really nice. That was, I
Beautiful.
think that was one of our first trips, because that was in the winter. You, me and Mariana, and I'm pretty sure we drove to Sorrento and got the ferry from Sorrento, because in Positano in the winter, off season, there's no ferries to Capri. You can only go from Sorrento. So we drove to Sorrento, got the ferry over. We got a
Did the
Capri
day.
taxi up because we got a photo in the taxi together. I'm sure I can find that. And then
And
we,
I think we met the Capri goats there,
yes,
no?
yes, we did. We saw the
Yeah, yeah.
goats. Yeah.
And yeah, that was lovely too. And then in general, we go one escape because of my.
Oh yes, we had a tradition where once a year we would go to Capri and go and buy something expensive. one thing once a year.
Yes,
And
so
so
I
we
still keep it.
Yeah,
I still
and
do
you-
it.
Yeah, I mean Elizabeth bought her scarves that she's always. In fact, this last year we didn't go to Capri, but we went to Barcelona
Yes.
instead, so we did it there.
There's always
But I didn't buy
possibility.
anything
No.
because the year before I went with Paulina instead of you, and
Ah,
I
yeah,
bought two
yes.
things. And I bought these,
Yes.
and I bought the hat
Yes.
from Gucci. Yeah, and then the year before, the pink wallet.
And yeah,
That was
that's
the year
a lovely,
before.
That's a lovely tradition.
Yeah, and you got a scarf each time.
Yeah, I go
Yeah.
because I use them really a lot. Because when I'm sweating, and I have problems with my neck, so I nearly always use them. And I like to have one nice thing.
Don't you tell me that you believe in the colpa d'aria.
No,
Okay.
no. It's when I'm sweating, I don't like it, and then I feel like shivers. I don't like it, and I prefer this. And also the air conditioner. I enter and go in and out. Always in the bars, and it's cold and warm.
I don't know
prefer-
how you can wear that around your neck in the summer when it's so hot. It would drive me mad. I'd feel,
No.
I can't. I have to be open. I mean, even my hair annoys me sometimes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. When I'm sweating, yes. No,
Yeah.
but that's the only luxury thing I have and buy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I don't have
Because we are
anything
very
else.
similar in this.
Yeah, yeah.
I prefer to buy goat land.
In fact, I can say H&M, Marks and Spencer's. I don't know where my shorts are from, but they were some cheap shop in Tuscany, and Uniqlo.
I have Gucci, and then Blue
Blue Star.
and then from Blue, the name of the company where I get my linen pants from Positano. I like them, and a beautiful Birkenstock to walk
I've got
around.
Converse today. I normally wear Birkenstock, but Converse today.
Yeah.
Because I'm
So
on my
this
dog
was-
walk.
So this is what we do, also what we like to do, a little bit of shopping. It's nice.
Yeah.
And then we have the bar where normally I always enter. Bar Buono Cuore, they make delicious ice cream, and then I buy a cannolo because I have to bring a cannolo back to Beppe.
Well, that's become really popular now, and there's always a queue outside.
Yeah.
In fact, that day we had to queue for an ice cream there as
Yeah.
well, didn't we? And I was like, I'm not queuing for an ice cream.
And then many times I had to go to Capri like early with the boat ferry, and then had a little walk and went back because I had to go to the port of Capri, because with our boats before COVID we had still the group tour to Capri, and there I had to buy the tickets to get to the port for every boat, because when you arrive at the port in Capri you have to buy a port fee to get people off. A port fee plus taxes per each person. And this was like a lot of money. Yeah, so we went every day with two boats or one boat. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
And COVID changed this because I started to experience more and more the Amalfi coast, and I really enjoyed the Amalfi coast. And we started focusing on the coastline, which is lovely.
Yeah.
And yeah, so many times I had to go and sign my soul to the port of.
Yeah, I came with you a
the
lot
port
for
of
that.
Capri. Yeah.
And I've had to go a few times for work. I mean, I had to go
Ah.
for makeup, a few makeup things, and I'd have to lug my bag with me. But I eventually chose to not do weddings on Capri because it was too risky. Because it was too expensive because the tickets to Capri aren't cheap, and to go there and back for trial and then go there and back for a wedding. But also the main problem was if the weather suddenly turned and the sea got rough on the wedding day, I'd be letting down the bride by not being there to do her
Yeah.
makeup. And that's an important thing for most brides. So I didn't want to risk it because if the weather's bad, there's no way I can get there.
No, people literally don't understand when you're there and it's rough seas. There is no way to get off the island.
No.
You can be stuck. Also in summer.
Yeah.
I mean, even the big hydrofoils, if it's not possible, it's not possible.
Yeah, yeah. So I gave up doing weddings on Capri and just left it for fun. Hello, can you see me? Sorry, we didn't really have much choice of where to put the camera, so
But
just
I like it. It's
getting
very
a bit of a Amalfi life.
yeah, a lot of people passing by.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we need to
Jump on the boat.
jump on the boat and go back. It's
Yes.
already 20 past 11. So let's go and get your thing at Panza and then go.
Perfect.
Hope you've enjoyed this little chat with us, and we will see you in the next video.
Ciao.